I'd like to share a real story with you. John, an ordinary man, has an extraordinary life story filled with resilience and wisdom. It's a tale of hard work and success, serving as an inspirational example. Born in the 1940s into humble circumstances, John displayed exceptional discipline and determination from a young age. Recognizing the need to support his family, he bravely married in his 20s, taking on the responsibilities of a household. He wasn't born into wealth, but he understood the value of frugal living, hard work, savvy financial management, and prudent investments. These wise choices allowed him to accumulate stocks, several houses, a few shops, and even some farmland by the time he was in his 60s. While he may not have been a billionaire, he could certainly be considered a successful investor and entrepreneur. John's success teaches us that wealth isn't the sole marker of success. He is a quintessential example of a hidden millionaire, a not uncommon phenomenon in small towns. Those who appear ordinary, dressed modestly, driving old cars may be some of the wealthiest individuals in the city. They might own extensive farmland, properties, and even millions in savings, yet their appearance and lifestyle do not reveal their true wealth. Remarkably, John, in his 60s, did something surprising. He started selling off his assets. This is an uncommon practice in many Chinese families, as most strive to pass their wealth to the next generation. However, John chose a different path. John began to sell his properties, shops, and land, inquiring if anyone was interested in purchasing them. This news attracted numerous real estate agents who circulated information to find potential buyers. Gradually, John started liquidating his assets in exchange for cash. Some of these properties he had purchased when he was much younger, and after decades of accumulation, he was now selling them at prices far higher than their purchase cost, often enjoying tax benefits as well. You might wonder why John was in such a hurry to sell off his assets and cash out. Perhaps you would think he faced financial issues or had some health concerns that required significant medical expenses. However, that wasn't the case. John's financial situation was robust, and he was in good health. His decision stemmed from his reluctance to pass on his wealth to the next generation. Yes, you heard it right. John was unwilling to pass on his wealth to the next generation. This was entirely contrary to the traditional beliefs held by many Chinese families. Typically, in our traditional Chinese families, there is a strong desire to pass down family assets from generation to generation, hoping to leave behind a financial legacy that would make life easier for the descendants and give them a head start. However, John held a different belief. He believed that passing down wealth to the next generation might lead to excessive dependency and rob them of the opportunities for hard work and independence. He believed that true growth and success could only be achieved through their own efforts and determination. John's decision, although contrary to conventional thinking, reflected his steadfast commitment to independence and self-reliance. He chose an unconventional path, converting his wealth into cash rather than passing it on to future generations. This story tells us that everyone has the right to decide the fate of their wealth, and this choice often reflects their values and beliefs. John's story is a thought-provoking tale that prompts us to reflect on what true wealth is and how we perceive wealth inheritance. Perhaps, at times, not passing on wealth to the next generation can also be a valuable form of legacy. The reason behind John's decision is simple yet profound. He witnessed many families torn apart by property disputes, even ending up in bitter conflicts. He observed siblings drifting apart due to wealth issues, some even resorting to legal battles. Therefore, he was determined not to let his family fall into such disputes, deciding not to retain his assets. During one of our moments sharing a meal of bok kut, John confessed, "These properties are the result of my frugal living and hard work during my youth. My children didn't contribute to this. Their upbringing and education were all my responsibility. Now that I am getting older, I plan to sell these assets and enjoy the proceeds with my spouse. While I still have the strength and independence, I want to explore the vast world, appreciate the grandeur of nature, and pursue more joys in life. For me, having some savings in my pocket is the most reassuring thing." He continued, "Should I rely on my children to fund my travels? No way. Today's young people have their own lives, responsibilities, and dreams. I don't want to burden them financially." John understood that his children had their own lives to manage and didn't want to become a financial burden to them. John's story prompts us to reflect on the relationship between family and wealth. His decision, although different from traditional beliefs, was thoughtful and wise. He chose his own path in life while releasing his children from financial obligations. This story tells us that wealth should not be a source of family disputes but rather a source of happiness and harmony. Every family has its own way, and this was the path John chose. While John's perspective may seem somewhat progressive and influenced by Western thinking, I actually agree with it wholeheartedly. I've advised my parents several times not to pass down their assets to us but to sell them and enjoy life to the fullest. Having a sufficient financial cushion allows for a dignified life, whether it's fulfilling personal dreams, supporting charitable causes, or generously providing for grandchildren without financial worries. As long as our health permits, we should strive to realize childhood dreams and pursue the life we desire. I hope that in the future, when I'm older, I can be as open-minded as John, liquidate all my assets, and take good care of myself and my spouse. Whether it's about dining choices, travel destinations, or contributions to charitable organizations, I want the freedom to choose without financial constraints. Only the surplus should be considered for inheritance or donation. However, as the saying goes, at 40, one does not have doubts, at 60, one is stable. Right now, I'm just imagining whether I'll truly have the courage and perspective when I reach that age. After all, letting go of a lifetime's worth of wealth is not an easy task. I only hope to possess enough wisdom to make money work for me, rather than being a slave to it. This is a pursuit of financial freedom and a high-quality life, a lifestyle we should aspire to.